right, well, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. We are going to spend a little bit of time today investigating fractions and what we know about them, okay? So, you will have on your desk a baggie full of strips like this. You need one of each color that's in your bag. So, one of each color that's in your bag. I'm going to move this out of the way so it doesn't distract from what we're doing. So you just need one of each color that's in your bag, and that will give you a total of 5 strips like this. And I'm going to figure out a way so that it'll show all 5 of my strips. All right, so I've laid my 5 strips out like this. We are going to pretend this is one beautiful candy bar, okay? Doesn't matter what color. You have different colors than me. You just need 5 different colors of strip. So if this is, so I'm going to pull all these away for a second. We're just going to focus on this one. If this is one candy bar and I am going to eat it all, the whole thing, what would this be labeled? It would be labeled, you're exactly right. We're going to label this, can you tell me? All right, say it in your head before you write it. We are going to label this one whole. One whole candy bar, which would be 1 over 1. Could be, right? The numerator is the same as the denominator. That means it's the whole. So I eat 1 whole candy bar. If it was a percent, it would be 100% of it. I ate 100% of it. Okay? All right, so I have my 1 whole candy bar right there. Take another color, and I want you to just line it up just like that. And I'm just going to ask you some questions, and you're going to investigate what I'm talking about. Okay? I have 1 whole candy bar. Let's say I'm going to share that with one other person. So I want you to take this right now. What would these become? Okay, how many pieces are there? However many pieces there are, that becomes your denominator, which is your bottom number. So we can all agree that they have 2 pieces. This is one of them. This is one of them. And one of them, so 1/2 plus another 1/2 would equal 1 whole, right? 1 whole candy bar. So if you shared that with you and one other person, or 2 people total, you would each get 1/2 of it. Okay, take another color. What would that be? See if you can come up with what it is before we go over it. How many total pieces are there? Well, we know the total, whatever it takes of these to make a whole, is your denominator. How many would it take to make the whole is your denominator. So this is 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/4, and this is another 1/4, and it takes 4 of them to make the whole. Interesting, though. What do 2 of them make? So we would call these 2 of these, which we would call 2/4, is equivalent, equal to 1/2. Very good. How many total pieces are there? Equivalent. What am I making? What's it going to be? So 1 whole, 2 halves, 4 fourths, 8 eighths, 16 sixteenths. So let's look at equivalent. If I just said, let's break these in half, we now know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sixteenths is the same or equivalent to 1 half. 4 eighths is equivalent to 1 half. 2 fourths is equivalent to 1 half. Okay? Can you think of what fraction might go in here? Wouldn't be equivalent, but it would go across. What's the only thing that could go in between? Let's take these out of the way for a moment. Put these back together. If I have a denominator of 2 and a denominator of 4, what's the only denominator that I could fit in between? What number is in between 2 and 4? 3. So this would be the thirds. Same thing after the fourths. If I put thirds in, I could do fourths and go on. Okay? All of your fraction pieces, I want you to put them together. You will have a Ziploc bag on your desk, and you will have to fold your whole in half like this. You're just not going to cut him. That way you can always lay him out to be a whole. And you are going to put all of these little guys in your Ziploc bag and then staple your Ziploc bag, not by the opening. Make sure you can seal the opening into your math log, into the foldable section. Okay? All right. So now you have this. Now that you've put your fractions up, I want you to look at the fraction information. You've done all of this, so you can put a check mark there. I've showed you the video. I did the video for you. So what I want you to do on here now, using just your pencil or a marker, I want you to take these fractions right here, just like you did. They're the same fractions we just did. And then draw, not cut, just draw where they would be on your paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want you to have an understanding of, if you have a whole, what's going to go next. Well, let's think about that. Okay. All right. Then if you flip over your paper, you have some questions that I want you to answer. And it's got a little bit of addition on there. And then you're going to find some equivalent fractions and then compare fractions, greater than, less than, or equal to. Okay, so just think through that, and then you will turn this into the bucket.